Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Harinam Sankirtan Yami Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So welcome to this new place. Thank you so much for making this effort, coming here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So I had decided to complete this chapter today. Then just because there are a few points or some discussion is required how we can make this class more effective, more better. So your opinion will be required for that. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just going in a monotonous way. I come here, speak, and just go back. So what different things which can help us to improve this, and so that we can take more advantage, more benefit out of this class. So that we will discuss. So let's quickly discuss few shlokas and then after we can continue this discussion. So as of now, in this chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, we could discuss about the process, the practices, realization of a yogi, and also the vision of a yogi, means one who is perfect in yoga process, or one who has achieved perfection in yoga process, Ashtanga yoga process. What is his vision? What is his realization? We have already discussed about all these things, right? So realization, there are two levels of realization. One is called, that is Atma realization, self-realization, knowing about the self. And the second stage, that is perfection of this yoga process, is realization of super soul. Knowing the self and knowing the super soul, that is perfection of the yoga process, right? And we could also see the role of mind in this yoga process, how it can play a role of friend, best friend, and it can become the greatest enemy. And that's what it is recommended, that one should control the mind and senses. If one wants to progress in yoga process, then one has to control the mind and senses. So after hearing all these things, especially about the vision of a perfect yogi, verse number 32 we discussed. He is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress, O Arjuna. So this is Vision of a perfect yogi. Equipoised. He sees everyone equal. He sees Paramatma within everyone, within everything. That is the vision of a perfect yogi. Verse number 31. What is his activity, action? Such a yogi who engages in the worshipful service of the Super Soul, knowing that I and the Super Soul are one, remains always in me in all circumstances. This is verse number 31. So, somebody who is situated in transcendence, somebody who has achieved perfection in yoga, he is always absorbed in worship. Worship means like engaged in the worshipful service of the Super Soul. Because we are talking about Ashtanga Yoga, eightfold mystic yoga system. So the perfection of this system is realization of Super Soul within heart, right? So always engaged in service of Super Soul. And he also knows that I and the Super Soul are one. Means he knows the source of Super Soul. Super Soul, who is Super Soul? Paramatma. And Paramatma is not independent. I mean, Paramatma is one aspect of Krishna. Vadanti tat tattva vida. Vadanti tat tattva vida. Tattvam yat jnanam advayam. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti shabdate. The complete realization or the complete knowledge, full knowledge of Krishna means knowing that Krishna has three aspects. One, Krishna himself, and the same Krishna who is locally, his localized aspect, who is as Paramatma within everyone's heart. He is Krishna himself. There's no difference. Krishna and Paramatma, both are same. Means Paramatma is the expansion of Krishna only. And the bodily effulgence of Krishna, that we know as Brahma, Brahma Jyoti. So Brahma, Paramatma, both are the source for both these. Paramatma and Brahma, the source is Krishna, right? So that is one who is, one who has realized Paramatma. He knows about it, that there is no Krishna. This is the expansion of Krishna only, and he is always engaged in devotional service, and remains always in me in all circumstances, right? So always engaged in service. Whatever activity he is doing, his only goal is to satisfy Krishna, to please Krishna. So after hearing this, like especially about the equanimity, being equal to everyone, be equal to friend, equal to enemy, then Arjuna, first of all, after hearing this yoga process, he was very much uncomfortable. He said, this is very impractical. I cannot do this. Because why it is very difficult? And he already said that because mind is very flickering. Chanchalam himana Krishna pramati balvadrinam. This mind is very flickering, obstinate. It's very difficult to curb the mind, control the mind. I cannot do this practice. Right? So we could see that even for Arjuna it was very difficult. Such a great personality, such a powerful personality, who is directly friend of Krishna, and he is saying that I cannot control my mind. I can control the raging wind, but I cannot control the mind. So what about us? So it means he is just informing us, or he is making us aware that this yoga process is not for us. This is not practical in this age of Kali Yuga. Even Prabhupada is saying that even maybe some people, very rare soul, even if they are able to do this, but this is not general system or the general process which everyone can follow, right? And that's why in every verse you see, whenever Prabhupada is explaining about this yoga system, he is giving a comparison with Bhakti Yoga. And he's saying Bhakti Yoga is the most easiest process. Anyone and everyone at any stage, everywhere, this yoga process can be practiced. Bhakti Yoga process. No restriction. Even before birth, when the child is within womb, Bhakti Yoga practice starts. There's no criteria, no restriction at all. Anyone, anytime can do this practice. But Arjuna said, especially this equanimity, okay, being equal to friends or the people who are neutral to us, it is fine, but being equal to enemies, it's very difficult, no? How can we forgive enemies? Somebody who is doing bad to us. It's very difficult to see him with equal vision or accepting him like accepting a friend. It's not easy, right? So, because of these two reasons, impracticality of this yoga process and especially this vision, this equal vision. He is asking a question. He was doubtful. He said, first of all, he is confirming. O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. So this is he is showing his inability. We have already discussed this, yes. And confirming that for the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate and very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. So this is, and then Krishna himself confirming, yes, it is very difficult. It is very difficult, but how we can control the mind? 2 steps formula Krishna is giving. What is that? Huh? No, that is okay. That is okay. But Krishna is saying,
engage in the Lord's service.
Yes, engaging. Practice and detachment. 2-step formula to control the mind is practice and detachment. Practice means whatever rules and regulations we are learning, activities like chanting, reading, hearing. This is the practice we have to do on a daily basis. And second means we have to engage ourselves, our mind, our senses in devotional service. That is practice. Whatever is favorable in Krishna consciousness, we have to practice it. We have to accept it. And whatever is not favorable, we have to say no to those things, which is creating obstacle on this process or in this path of progress, spiritual realization. We have to say no to those things, right? So there are do's and don'ts. So we have to avoid, or we have to see that. Then, yes. So suitable practice and detachment. This is the process. Then after Krishna is saying, for one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion. So finally Krishna is confirming that mind control is must. Without mind control or the controlling the senses, there is no progress at all. So one has to do it. And then finally, then Arjuna, he is asking, okay, if somebody is trying hard or somebody is trying to control his mind and senses and following this yoga process, this practice. So he's asking, ayati shraddhayopete yoga chalita manasa aprapya yoga samsiddhim kagatim Krishna gacchati. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism. So somebody who started the journey, who started this yoga process, but in between, in the middle of his journey, due to some reason, maybe some material desire or any reason, if the person gets deviated from the path, what about those people? What will happen of those people? So this is the question. Do we have this question?
Yeah, I have.
Huh?
Because given my age and my responsibilities, I feel it's very difficult at times.
Yes, I mean, that's why Arjuna is representing all of us. Whatever question we have in mind, Arjuna is going to ask those questions, right? So he's asking, okay, I'm doing so much, I'm putting so much effort, especially on Sunday, coming to the classes. So many people going outside, they're enjoying their life, and I'm here putting so much effort to come to these classes. And finally, I'm neither in material world nor in a spiritual world.
And Prabhuji, it's like, suppose like one person is coming here, the rest of the family members are away from him. So,
Yes.
so to have a balance with everybody is not easy.
Yes, it's not easy.
They won't probably understand us and
Oh, they never
myself.
understand. My first
Anyway.
thing is, my son tells me, Mama, I have a paper tomorrow. And you are going.
Yes, these circumstances will always be there, of course. That's why I'm saying, especially you're putting so much effort, right? Avoiding so many things, and especially coming for Bhagavad Gita class. This is what called tapasya, austerity. It's not easy, but still you are making effort. But at the end of the day, somehow, if you could not complete this journey due to any reason, this question will come in mind. If I could not complete, I lost both the world. Neither I achieved my spiritual perfection, and nor I could enjoy my material life.
Yes.
This question will be there.
Yes, yes.
Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, and one reporter inquired from Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you say that Krishna is there, and you're doing so much, every day spending so much of time, chanting, reading, hearing, and end of the life, if you come to know that Krishna is not there, no Krishna is, there's no existence of Krishna, what will happen of your life? Means you have wasted your life, so much time.
तब enjoy करो. That is the mantra. There is
So Prabhupada, he said, yes, you're right. If end of the first, then Prabhupada said, but if you, the way you are leading your life, if end of the life you come to know that Krishna is there, then what will happen of your life? Or what he was trying to make him understand that if I come to know that Krishna is not there, then also what is loss? I'm chanting, reading, hearing, I'm associating with so many nice people, taking nice prasadam, dancing, so beautiful way of life. There's no loss in this, right? But if you come to know the way you are leading your life, hardcore materialistic life, and if you come to know at the end that Krishna is there, then think of what will be your destination. So finally, even if you come to know about that, but anyway, Lord is going to answer about this question. What he's saying, Kaschinno bhaya vivrishta chinna, sorry, this is again Arjuna is speaking. Nashyati apratishto mahabaho vimudho brahmana pathi. O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere? So this is our question. दोनों तरफ के नहीं रहे. हाँ? न माया न राम. So now Krishna is saying, he's asking that you are the only person who can help me to answer this or to clarify this doubt. Eitan me sanshayam Krishna chetum arhasi asheshata tadanvaya samsayasyasya cheta na hi upapadyate. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely, but for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Is there anyone else who can destroy this doubt? Why? Only Krishna. Why? Because all knowing. Krishna knows past, present and future. So he only can dispel this doubt. Shri Bhagavan uvacha path naiv iha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tat gacchati. So first of all, Krishna is saying, the Supreme Personality of God had said, son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with the destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So that is clear. Anybody who is engaged in Krishna consciousness, doing good, will never perish. Even in second chapter, we heard Krishna once spoke about it. Neha vikramana swasti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam api yasya dharmasya trayate mahto bhaya. He spoke about it. That somebody who is on this path never lost. Whatever we are doing, whatever we have done in this life, especially on a spiritual path, whatever progress we have done, that is always going to be there. From material point of view, whatever material success is there, we know with the end of this body, that is going to be zero. We cannot go in next life and complain or claim about whatever bank balance we have, right? For example, if you have good bank balance, right, and after this life, next life you got birth nearby, maybe that bank or some other life, and you go and claim, you ask for your money, they will not give you. Account is closed, right? So once the body is finished, all material possession, that is zero. We have to start again from scratch. So that is material life. But when it comes to spiritual life, means 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever we have achieved, we are going to begin our journey from there. So that is the beauty of this spiritual life. What happens of these people? 41. Prapya punya kritam lokan. You can recite after me. Prapya punya kritam lokan. Ushitva shashwati sama. Suchinam shrimatam gehe. Yoga bhrashto abhijayate. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. So somebody who is on this process, on this path of practice or yoga process, first of all he will go where? Ushitva shashwati sama. Prapya punya kritam lokan. Punya kritam lokan. He will go to Punya loka or planets where pious people goes. So he will go to that planet and he will enjoy the result of his punya karmas. Shashwati sama. Many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities. He will go there, he will enjoy his life. And once he come back to this earthly planet, he will take birth to aristocratic family or second is devotees family. Pious, yes. Devotee family we can say, yes. Or the pious family wherein good atmosphere is there to practice this spirituality or like that. No loss at all. The greatest loss is, what is the greatest loss? When we hear this shloka, Neha Vikramana Soti, Trayate Mahato Bhayat. What is the greatest danger? Greatest fear of our life? What is that? Huh? Yes. Death is not the greatest fear. After death, if we do not get this human form of life, and not only human form of life, but the opportunity for self-realization, association of devotees, knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita, if we do not get it, that is the greatest fear, right? Death is for sure. There is no question, there is no fear of death. But the fear of getting other life, which is not suitable, which is not for self-realization. And here we see that anybody who is practicing Krishna consciousness, for sure he is getting human birth. There are incidents in Srimad Bhagavatam, as we will discuss, maybe due to some reason, even somebody getting into different body, not human body, but that is very specific. That is not ordinary living entities or ordinary animals like Bharat Maharaj. We see the story of Bharat Maharaj. We will discuss about it. But we see even in animal body, he was aware of his previous life and he was always associating devotees. He was always sitting there in the front of nearby ashram of devotees and hearing about Krishna Katha. So that is very special animal. It's not ordinary animal. But here it is, Krishna is assuring that will take birth in two kinds of family, rich family or devotee family. Why this facility? So that the person will not struggle. Like you people are here is having all these facilities. It's not by chance. It's all because of your karmas, right? You have done some pious activities and because of that you have received this facility. And now what we are learning, we have to utilize this facility in such a way so that we can make use of best use of bad bargain. This is not the world we are supposed to be. Somehow we have come here. Now we have received the facility. We have received this knowledge to go home, back to Godhead. So we should utilize it. We should take the best, the opportunity to understand it and you practice it so that we can go back to Godhead.
Forever.
Forever. Yes. Is there any fear in this? One devotee asked, my life is going so nice. Why should I go back home? So this kind of conditioning is called, the person who is in mode of goodness, they think like this, because mode of goodness binds us with the sense of happiness. This is also binding, no? Mode of goodness is also binding. Mode of passion and mode of ignorance, anyway it is binding. A person who is in mode of ignorance is not knowing about the life, about the purpose of life. So he is anyway, just in this material world is struggling. And the person in mode of passion, they are so much engaged in their material endeavor or desires, fulfilling their material desires. They do not bother at all about hearing all such things, about self-realization, the purpose of life. They are not at all concerned about it. Their only purpose is eating, sleeping, mating, defending. But the person in mode of goodness, they have some sense, because they are pious people. They think about it. But the unfortunate thing is, because they are happy, they are satisfied, and because of that, they are conditioned in this material world. They get bounded with this mood, this sense of happiness. Why to go? Like I gave you the example of jail, no? I could see so many people, they do not want to come out of jail. Why? Because they are getting better facility. Living happily in jail, they don't want to come out of it. But we have to know that this facility is not forever. How long this facility is there with us? We want to stay back here, but we won't be able to stay back. We will be kicked out after a period of time, after some, no? Once the time is over, we have to leave this facility. We have to go to our next journey. And that's why Prabhupada is saying that best use of bad bargain. Better if facilities are there, if we have good atmosphere, make a best use of it. Because position and power is given to those people who utilize it. If you do not utilize it, then this will be taken back.
Prabhuji, what is the difference between somebody being happy in mode of goodness and somebody being happy in Krishna consciousness?
Yes.
The happiness. What is the difference of happiness?
One is at transcendental platform and one is at material platform. Happiness means like material happiness, which is based on material consciousness. Like somebody is drinking or any sorts of activity you say.
You said like a mode of goodness. You were doing
Mode of
good
goodness,
karma.
somebody is, yes, he is happy. Happy means, again, mode of goodness is again on material platform. He is only concerned with the self, maybe extended family, society. But again, he is in mode of goodness, means he is enjoying the senses, but maybe not at gross level. Gross level means like people in mode of passion or mode of ignorance. But the person in mode of goodness is pious person. He is also getting enjoyed. Huh? Like he is also thinking of others, doing good, being good, doing good. This is mode of goodness, right? So at every stage there are different level of happiness. Like happiness at the level of body, happiness at the level of mind, happiness at the level of intelligence, different level of happiness. Similarly, when we go beyond, there is happiness which is on the level of spirituality, right? Somebody in mode of ignorance, their happiness is eating or maybe sleeping and alcohol, meat eating. They enjoying in that, right? So everybody is conditioned by the three modes of material nature. Whichever mode is prominent, the person is enjoying in that particular mode, and he thinks that the way he is enjoying is the topmost, is the best. Anybody who is drinking or eating meat or doing all sorts of activities, which is not prescribed by the scripture, but they are enjoying. I give you the example of Indra, as being in the body of a pig. He is thinking that I am enjoying here. But that level of enjoyment is very degraded level of enjoyment. A pig enjoying, can we enjoy like that? For us it is very degraded level of enjoyment, right? The same like the Indra, who is the king of heaven, and he was in a body of pig, and Brahmaji, he is informing, he sent Narad Muni to inform that yes, please come back. The heaven is waiting for you, or the beautiful apsaras, so many facilities waiting for you, come back. But he was so much happy in that condition, very happy. He said, why should I go back? So nice family, so much to eat and see the atmosphere. fragrance all together, everywhere. So this is conditioning. So through
I
the
have a question, Prabhu.
Shastra Chakshu. Yeah.
No, you finish this and I'll ask a question related to this.
And also remind me, because today we will not, means maybe half an hour we'll do the class, and after that we can do our meeting. So this is, conditioning. Because of that we have to see the reality with the help of Shastra Chakshu, that is called. Whatever condition we are in, but we have to know the reality, the future also. So we have to be happy here also. It's not that Krishna consciousness means you don't have to be happy here. Sometimes people get confused with this.
I am confused in the sense that somebody is following, is doing be good, do good.
Yes.
Is taking care of his employees and he's doing good for everybody.
Yes.
And is satisfied. So, what is the difference between a person being transcendently happy and in the mode of happy being in the mode of good?
Yes. First, we can understand like this. First of all, that happiness you can experience when you are at Krishna conscious level. Number one. Second, one difference we know that in being in mode of goodness, that is binding, but being in Krishna consciousness, that is liberating. This is the difference. And now the question is taking care of others, taking care of self, whatever activities we are doing. So in mode of goodness, the person is just doing like any other activities, no? Karma, good karma, pious activities with prescribed rules and regulations. But in Krishna consciousness, the same thing we are doing, but we are offering our activity, our result of the activity, everything to Krishna. Means Krishna is center. I am not the controller, I am not the doer, I am an instrument in the hands of Krishna. And I see all other as part and parcel of Krishna. This is what doing the same activity in a Krishna conscious way for the pleasure of Krishna, right? So this is the difference between a person in mode of goodness or a person in Krishna consciousness. Krishna conscious person, like here we see the perfect yogi, always absorbed in Krishna. Every thought, every word, every activity is around Krishna. He is always remembering Krishna.
You are
Yes.
contented.
Huh?
Contentment एक मिलता है.
Yes, yes.
मतलब आप अच्छा अगर कर रहे हैं मोड ऑफ गुडनेस में भी आप if you're doing good for others, you think it's for Krishna.
That mode of Shuddha Satogun, mode of goodness is a platform where from you can enter into Krishna
I think it is
consciousness.
a lack of knowledge when you are doing good. and
One is
lack of awareness.
even mode of
lack
goodness I am doing for myself. But when you come to Shuddha Satogun, that is Krishna consciousness stage, wherein you know that Krishna is Bhokta Ram Yagatapasam. He is the enjoyer. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. I am his part and parcel servant. My duty is to serve him. So serving means whatever process he is giving, how to work, how to do activities, how to take care of. So we are following Krishna.
Yeah, and I think the person who is doing good, everything is okay. But I think he's not able to realize this fact that the reality of life, that you are a soul, and somewhere he's not able to realize that. He's seeing life in this world only. जब तक ये जन्म
Yes.
है.
He is
and
doing
he's not
punya
able to
karma.
realize, yeah,
He is
yes.
doing punya karma, but we know that even punya karma, that is binding.
He's not
He
able to
is
beyond, yeah.
at least better than other. Ignorance and passion, he is in better situation.
और
Right.
probably जो मैं अच्छा कर रहा हूँ वो भी कृष्णा ही कर रहा है. I mean, you have to
Obviously.
think like that.
But
It's
the
not
others-
I am doing it. Krishna is.
Sorry.
I mean,
Doing it in order to your goodness.
like one example we had given that if you follow your mind, it means you are being controlled by the three modes of material nature, either in mode of goodness or passion or ignorance. But if you follow the instruction of Krishna, higher authority, then you are Krishna conscious. So Krishna consciousness means not my mind, Krishna's mind. What Krishna is saying, that is the difference. So when you follow Krishna, you are on transcendental platform. When you follow your mind, that is being in three modes of material nature.
Maybe he has not come to enjoy that, I mean.
Yes.
I'm-
Means
I'm-
either in mode of goodness or in mode of passion or ignorance, if I have this mentality that I'm the enjoyer, what I'm doing is for my enjoyment, that is material consciousness. And Krishna consciousness means it is for the enjoyment of Krishna. Of course, there is a transition phase. Immediately this phase will not come. That's why we have discussed this. Agamo sarva kamo va, moksha kamo udharati. What is that? Whatever desire, even material desire we have, we do not have, no worry, but at least we should follow the instruction and we should do bhakti so that gradually we can reach to that stage. That is the perfection, stage of perfection. Yes, we shall.
In the mode of goodness, I would still experience anxiety and stress.
That is always there.
But in case of higher platform Krishna consciousness, these things will be lesser or not.
That is
there.
the result. One who is in Krishna consciousness, no anxiety, no stress. Anxiety not for the self. Person is still. That's what I'm saying. It's all about different level of happiness at gross level, physical level, and mental level, intellectual level, spiritual level. These are the different levels. The same thing at different levels.
Moreover, he does not know the other things, so I mean, he can't compare this happiness and that happiness.
He is not aware of that. Once being in mode of goodness, that's why this is the quality of a person in mode of goodness, taking interest in reading, hearing. And one who is in having this kind of interest means getting knowledge. Once you get knowledge, then further advance. From mode of goodness, we are advancing to Shuddha Sattva Guna. That is called Krishna conscious platform. So we will take one more shloka. Like these are the two families the person is taking birth. Now Krishna is saying, this is for the people who have done yoga practices for short period of time. Maybe not for long period, but somebody who did this practice for short period of time and he could not complete. Then what happens? He will take birth in aristocratic family or pious family. Then what happened? Somebody who did this practice for long time. Athva yogi nameva kule bhavati dhimatam etadhi durlabhataram loke janma yadi drisham. Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. So somebody who did this practice for long time, for long period of, then what happens? He will take birth to a very advanced devotee family. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Guru. So because
But Prabhuji, that also happens in time. So if a person who's started on this path of spirituality, but because he's unsuccessful and he takes another birth in say in either of the two families, so that process in the next birth will also start after some point in time.
that is, we cannot predict. It may be from the very beginning, especially in this case, somebody who has practiced for a long time, it may be immediate after birth, you will see the effect. Or any point of time, of course, that is true. It's not that all of a sudden, but especially somebody who is in advanced stage, it can be from the very beginning. We see many children taking birth in a devotee family, you will see from the very beginning they have all those qualities. No? Why? Because they are coming from a previous life. They have those qualities from previous life. So like here the example is given of Bharat Maharaj, the same example, King Bharat, who was the emperor of the whole world. And since his time, this planet has been known among the demigods as Bharatvarsha. Formerly it was known as, okay, this is further detail, but we know the story of Bharat Maharaj. He renounced his kingdom for self-realization and he went to jungle and there just to protect one child deer, and he got so much attached with that deer that he forgot about his Krishna conscious practice. He was always absorbed in taking care of that deer, and finally at the time of death he was remembering not Krishna, he was remembering about that deer, and he took another birth as deer. Antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram. So whatever we think at the time of death, we are going to get another body based on that consciousness, that desire. So next body he got. But because he was a very exalted personality, no, he was at the stage of bhava. Like in devotional service, there are different stages. Starting from, what is the first stage? We should know all this, we should practice. Huh? Shraddha. Shraddha is first stage. Then second, association of devotee. Because you have Shraddha, that's why you are coming in association with devotees. And what do you do when you come in association with devotees? Bhajana Kriya, spiritual practices. Otherwise, being in association of devotees and not doing bhajana means we are not utilizing or we are not taking the complete benefit of. Right? So when we come in association of devotees, only topic of discussion, our discussion is how we can advance in Krishna consciousness. How do you practice? How should I practice? These are the discussion, Krishna conscious discussion. You know? So Ramanticha, like devotees, they are always absorbed in discussion of Krishna consciousness, and they enjoy the life. They feel happy with that. And once you do bhajana kriya, the result of that bhajan kriya is anartha nivritti, means clearing all their negativity, all the anarthas. And once anarthas are clear, then what happens? Nishtha. You become determined in this process. Then ruchi, asakti, these are the further levels. You develop so much interest, right? That even you automatically you just look for opportunity to hear about Krishna. Asakti is deeper level of attachment. Without Krishna you cannot live. You're always absorbing Krishna. And after that there is a stage of bhava. Fully absorbed, always thinking of Krishna. And after bhava there is a last stage, that is next stage, that is prema. So Krishna prema, that is our goal of life, right? And so many other stages are there in between. So he was at the stage of bhava. Bhava means hearing about Krishna, and so many other symptoms, bodily symptoms are there. Ashta Sattvic Vikar. So now imagine he was on that stage, and because of just a small desire, attachment to a deer, he took another birth as deer. But because his practice was very advanced stage in his practices he did, so in that life also he was absorbing Krishna consciousness. He was aware of his previous life, and he was always residing near ashram of yogis, wherein he was hearing Krishna Katha. And then by the mercy, in next life again he got another opportunity. He took birth in human form of life. He took birth in a Brahmin family, pious family. And in that life, because he was from the very beginning, he was aware that because of this mistake, I lost this opportunity. So in third life, when he was known as Jad Bharat. Why Jad Bharat? Jad means no reaction at all. Jad, dead. So he was behaving like a mad person, so that nobody should interact. That's a different kind of yoga process. But he was just totally detached from family, from society, nothing.
But Prabhuji, फिर वही तो है ना कि फिर जब आप family में हो या
We will discuss. That's a different stage. The different practices are there. How we can achieve the same perfection being in family life, that is what we are learning. Ashtanga yoga is not meant for us. Like similarly, there are other processes, Hatha yoga, all these processes, these are the authentic process, but everybody cannot follow that. So Jada Bharat, he practiced that particular yoga in that particular lifetime, totally detached. Beautiful story in Srimad Bhagavatam you go through. And he was, the purpose was to be totally absorbed in Krishna consciousness, no other attachment. He was like that, just behaving like a mad person. And people used to behave like that. We have less time, other we would discuss about it. But anybody, how much intelligent he is, you can know once he speak about it. So in this particular incident, we see when he was carrying Rahugana, King Rahugana, he was in palanquin, and the other members, they were carrying the king. He was going to a satsang, and because others were no, they were feeling weak, so the king asked for to bring some new person so that he can carry me quickly to the place. So they found Jad Bharat sitting over there and invited Jad Bharat to carry the palanquin. And when he was going, he was because he could see so many ants on the ground, and he was trying to save them, right? And because of that, it was getting disturbed. He was not going fast, and king he got very angry. What kind of person now? Why he is doing like this? He is not moving smoothly. So he started chastising. The king got down and he started chastising, abusing, all sorts of different things, that you fool, number one, this, that, so many things. If you read this, you will know it's very amazing discussion. And then Jad Bharat, he started speaking. And the moment he started speaking, King Rahugana, he could understand that he is not an ordinary person. He is a self-realized person. He knows the truth. He knows the absolute truth. And then he took shelter of Jad Bharat. He became the disciple of Jad Bharat. So anyway, from this story we are learning that even somebody who has done long practice, there is no loss. He takes birth in such kind of family, and from the very beginning, he is at very advanced stage. He is not required to follow the basic rules and regulations. He is always in very advanced stage. So we will stop here. So this one verse, what Krishna is saying, by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such people, you will see many such kind of people, even they are not getting good association from the very beginning, they are very advanced. They are automatically attracted towards these kind of Krishna conscious life. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. Even externally, you may not see following some rules and regulations of these basic rules and regulations which is mentioned in the scripture, but because he is always absorbed in Krishna consciousness, very advanced stage. So today we will conclude here. What is the learning in today's class? What?
There is no loss on this path.
There's no loss. It's a win-win situation. That's good. Anything else?
Walking on this path of Krishna consciously, even if we leave this body, we start from where we were in the last.
Yes. Yes. Where from whatever we have done, that is going to be with us always.
Mind control is difficult but necessary.
Huh?
Controlling mind is difficult but still necessary. You have
Yes.
to
Mind
continue practicing.
control is must. It's must. In this yoga processes, it is very difficult to control. But in bhakti yoga, mind control, can we do that?
Happens.
It happens automatically.
Automatically. We need not to control the mind. In bhakti yoga, we do not try to control the mind. Mind is very powerful. We simply engage the mind, redirecting our desires to Krishna consciousness. And that is easy. We are not stopping our desires. We are simply engaging our desire. Whatever desire you have, any skill, any desire you have, you can simply engage that in Krishna consciousness. You want to write something, you can write for Krishna. You want to eat something, you can cook and offer it to Krishna and take it as prasadam. Right? Huh?
If it is non-vegetarian, then
No, again, that's what I'm saying. Of course, because our objective is to please Krishna, and we should know what Krishna likes. Or, see, Krishna can take anything, but it is for our purification. Krishna is recommending, do this. Krishna is Atmaram. He is fully satisfied. He does not want anything, but he is accepting for our purification. Right?
what is the word? Practice and
Detachment. Means practice means whatever positive engagements are there, we should do that. This is very important. Practice. on a daily basis, because from time immemorial we have been away from Krishna. We have been developing this material consciousness to become enjoyer, separate from Krishna. So this is not easy to revive that lost relationship. And that's why it is recommended that throughout our life we should practice. All of a sudden it will not happen. Only at the time of death will not remember Krishna. We can remember Krishna only when we have sincere practice throughout our life. And that's why.
I have a question.
Hmm.
You said that whatever thought we have during our last time, that's how we take the birth.
Yes.
That all of us do. But the thing is this, if you look at the kind of illness people get these days, hardly anybody knows they are on ventilators, they are in a state of unconsciousness.
Yes.
How will one person?
That is very nice question. This is, if somehow due to any reason if you could not remember,
Yeah.
what will happen at that time?
I see so many people who just pass away in the hospital on the ventilators. They
Yes.
don't, what thought will they have?
Yes. So Krishna says that no, if you remember me throughout your life, even at the time of death, if you do not remember, but I will remember you.
That's very
Krishna
Krishna-like answer.
Krishna will remember us. Don't worry about that. But very much, this is a very practical question. I have seen many people, even at the last moment, they are maybe on ventilator, they are not able to speak. But because of their spiritual practices, they have done so many arrangements, favorable atmosphere, so many devotees coming, chanting, offering tulsi leaf, water, Ganges water. How it is happening? Krishna is making this arrangement so that you can live peacefully or with, like that. So Krishna makes that arrangement. Like Pitama Bhishma, he was a struggle. He was waiting for Krishna. So long he waited for, because Krishna knows that he is waiting for me. So he made arrangement.
Again, I top this question up with another question. If for an unsuccessful yogi, such kind of a time comes, then you are in hospital, but because you've been unsuccessful, then the process of leaving, the soul wants to leave the body, but that process will be so difficult because.
No, that's what I'm saying about that. Even if, because first of all we don't know what the person is thinking about, because this is our perception. Second, even if we accepted that the person due to any reason not able to remember, it does not mean that, because that's what Krishna is remembering that
But
person.
what do you mean by an unsuccessful yogi?
So what I mean to say is like we read in the chapter, Ravi, there are some people who are very advanced in this stage. There are some people who are not that advanced. They've started on their journey, but they are not advanced because of whatever.
भक्ति की जो ये है ना, जज करने का कैपेसिटी वो सिर्फ भगवान का होता है. You cannot judge yourself that मैं unsuccessful. Maybe everybody is not so. Can I?
Yes, please.
Everybody is not so exalted कि उस level तक पहुंच पाए. लेकिन थोड़ी सी भी कोशिश, I think, if God sees it as love, it is a big thing. So I do not understand the word unsuccessful yogi. If somebody
No,
has
this word is there. Unsuccessful means somebody who could not achieve the ultimate perfection.
Yes,
First of
that's
all,
what I
in devotional life, there is no unsuccess word is, that is not there. Everybody is getting success. There is no unsuccess something. But the point here is, yes, the ultimate achievement. Maybe like we discussed different stages of bhakti. I could not reach to the final stage, but at least at some stage I am there. That is number one. And also bhakti does not depend on how much time we have spent in it, or how much effort. Effort means, of course, that is there. It's all about the sincerity. It's all about the attitude. Advancement in Krishna consciousness, Srila Rupa Goswami says that it's based on attitude, right? That sincere desire. And we see incidents like one king, what is the name? King Khatwang. He achieved this perfection just within 1.5 hours. We heard this story. Khatwang Maharaj, he held all the demigods. There was a fight between demigods and demons, And Khatmang Maharaj, he is the you can say he comes in the lineage of Lord Ram. He is the Purvaj, predecessors. So he helped demigods, and they were very happy. Demigods, they were very happy, and he just asked, yes, you can ask any benediction. You have helped us, and because of you, we got victorious. You ask for any boon. So Khatmang Maharaj, he said, just send me back to my place, Ayodhya. I want to go home. I want to go to my place. But because he was in that another planet, Devalokas. So that time, the time there and time here is different, right? And the demigods, they informed him that now you have nothing at that place. Everything is finished because the time there has gone far away. Means that is nothing is there. So the Khatmang Maharaj, then they inquired, any other boon, any other, you can ask for anything else. So he said, okay, how much time I have in my life? You can just please let me know. So they said that you have this much time. Only dhai ghadi. Dhai ghadi is like 1.5 hours something. 35 minutes means 1 ghadi something. So he said, okay, this much time I have. Just do one thing. Just make an arrangement so that I can immediately reach to at the bank of Sarayu river. Just make some arrangement. And they did. And he reached there. And whatever 1 hour, 1.5 hour he had, he got absorbed in Krishna consciousness so sincerely. And within that period only, he achieved the perfection. And he went back home, back to Godhead. Demigods, they could see a planet coming from Vaikuntha, and it is carrying Khatmang Maharaj. They were surprised. Oh, how come? Just within half an hour, 1.5 hour means what he did. How come he could achieve this perfection and going to Vaikuntha? So this is the power of bhakti. Whatever stage we are in, it's all about our sincerity. We don't have to think, okay, now this much time has already gone away. How will I achieve perfection? Of course, in any other yoga process, it takes very, very long time. Krishna will speak about it. It's very lengthy process, very difficult process. But bhakti yoga, that is, any moment we can start. And if we are sincere, we can achieve perfection in this lifetime only. And that is what Prabhupada recommends. We should not misuse, or we should use our life in such a way so that we can achieve the perfection in this life. We should not take next chance, because maybe next birth, when we will get it, whether we will get a human life. Even if we get a human life, we will get this facility, because Kali Yuga, this is in child age, and Kali Yuga will progress further, 432,000 years. So it will progress further, and that will be very critical condition. We may not get such facility, such favorable atmosphere, right? So thank you so much. We will stop here. Another 10 minutes. We have one small meeting.
Let's stop the recording.
Yes, please. Stop. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada.